In this tutorial, we are going to look at functions, and our focus will be on finding the inverse of a function. So how do you find the inverse of a function? Let's say I have a function f of x is equal to ax plus b. When I have f to the power negative 1x, this means that you are finding inverse of f of x. So inverse of f of x is denoted by f to the power negative 1, then x. If I had a function g of x, then the inverse would be g to the power negative 1 of x. So that is g inverse of x. Okay? Let's apply this concept. So let's say I have f of x is equal to let's say 2x plus 1. Then I've been told to find f inverse. So find the inverse of x. So how can I find? So the first step you need to do here, let f of x be equal to y, meaning that I'll have y is equal to 2x plus 1, right? Then make x the subject. That is the second step. So make x the subject of the formula. So what I'll have to make x, I'll take this y to the other side. So I'll say y minus 1 is equal to 2x. Then I'll divide by 2. So my x now subject to be equal to y minus 1 over 2. Then the second thing, substitute x where there is y. So you replace now x where there is y. You would have found now the f inverse. Okay? So f inverse of x will be equal to where there is y, I'll substitute x, so x minus 1 over what? 2. So this is how you get to find the f inverse. Let's look at an example, another one. Let's say f of x is equal to, let's have 3 over x. Then the question is find f inverse of x. So I'll do the same. I'll let f of x to be equal to y. So what I'll have is y is equal to 3 over x. Then according to the second step, you make x the subject. So I'll say over 1 cross multiply. So I'll say xy is equal to 3. So since I have xy is equal to 3, to make x the subject, I'll divide by y, even here by y. So I'll say x is equal to what? 3 over y. To find f inverse of x, I'll substitute where there is y, I'll substitute x. So it is 3 now over x. So that is f inverse. Okay? Let's look at another example. Let's say I have f of x is equal to 2x. Find f inverse of x. So I'll say let f of x be equal to y. Then I'll say y is equal to 2x, right? I'll make x the subject by dividing by 2 on both sides. Then x will be equal to what? Y over x. Now to find f inverse of x, just substitute where there is y. In fact it should be over to the, so it is y over 2. Then put now x where there is y. Where there is y there, put x. So it will be x over 2. Let's look at another example. Let's say I have f of x. Let me use a different function. Let's say I have g of x is equal to maybe x plus 2 square, x squared plus 2, okay? Then the question is find g inverse of x. Then the second question is find g inverse of 2. So how can you do this? The first thing, let g of x be equal to y. So it will be y is equal to x squared, right? X squared plus 2. Then make x squared the subject. So I'll take this 2 to the other side. Okay? So I'll have y minus 2 is equal to x squared. So since I have x squared is equal to y minus 2, I'll make now x the subject by finding the square root on both sides. Okay? So this square root will cancel with the power of 2. So x will now be equal to square root of y minus 2. So to find f inverse now, I'll substitute where there is x, where there is y, I'll substitute x. Okay? So it will be square root of x minus 2. Okay? So this is my f inverse. Now they have asked us to find also, this is my g inverse, sorry, not f inverse. So this is my g inverse. Now the second question is find g inverse of 2. So where there is x, substitute 2. Okay? So what will be the value? So g inverse of 2, meaning that in this function g, where there is x, substitute 2. Okay? So it will be square root of where I see x, there, I'll substitute 2, then minus 2. So g inverse of 2 will be equal to what? Square root of 2 minus 2 is 0. Square root of 0 is just a 0. Because 0 times 0 is 0. Okay? Alright, so now let's look at another scenario. Let's say I have f of x is equal to, let's have maybe 3x plus 2. Let's have 3x plus 2. Okay, let's make it a rational function, x minus 1 over x minus 1. How can you find the inverse? So the same thing. So find f inverse of x, that is a. B, find f inverse of negative 1 or negative 2. Let's say negative 2. So start by finding f inverse of x. So you say let f of x be equal to y. So the y would now be equal to 3x plus 2 over x minus 1. Make x the subject. I'll say over 1. We close multiply. So we're going to say y multiplied by x minus 1. Okay? Then is equal to 1 multiplied by 3x plus 2. So what will be the result now? So what we're going to have is y multiplied by x, that is yx. Y multiplied by negative 1, that is negative 1. Negative y, sorry. That is negative y. Then it will be equal to 1 multiplied by 3x, that is 3x. 1 multiplied by 2, that is plus 2. Okay? Then I collect the like terms, so I'll have yx minus 3x, which I have x, I'll put them on one side, then I'll say 2. Then this y will come this side, it will be plus y. Okay? Then I'll factorize. What is common here is x, so I'll have x. What I've remained with there is y. What I've remained with there is negative 3. Then is equal to 2 plus y. So what I'll do next here, since what I have is x open bracket y minus 3 is equal to 2 plus y, I can divide on both sides by y minus 3, even here by y minus 3. Okay? Once I divide, I'll cancel out this because it is just giving 1. So x will now be equal to 2 plus y over y minus 3. The next thing I'm going to do here is now to substitute where there is y, I'll substitute what? X. So my f inverse of x will be equal to 2 plus x over x minus 3. I've just replaced where there is y. There and there, replace back the x. So this is my f inverse of x. Now, the second question is to find f inverse of 2. So I have f inverse of x, which is equal to 2 plus x over x minus 3. So what it means by f inverse of negative 2, it simply means that where there is x, substitute negative 2. In fact, let me just put it as 2. Okay? F inverse of 2. So this is what we are going to say. So f inverse of 2, where there is x, substitute 2. So it will be 2 plus 2. There is x over, where there is x, we say, you substitute 2, then minus 3. So what would be the result now? Can even get rid of this. So our f inverse of 2 will be equal to 2 plus 2, that is a 4, over 2 minus 3, that is a negative 1, right? So what will be our f inverse? So our f inverse of 2, our f inverse of 2 will be equal to 4 divided by negative 1, that is negative 4. So this is the answer. So this is where we end, and this is how you find the f inverse of a given function. Okay, the inverse of a function. Thank you for watching.